Would you trust a Tesla?
No, sorry.
With over 100,000 miles?
Hell no.
Highly recommend not buying a Tesla Model 3.
This electronic part was faulty, and have a look at this. The connectors that are broken off.
Mechanics are starting to warn buyers about the problems nobody talks about. Cold weather is exposing their weaknesses, and America's power grid could have another problem coming. Before we begin, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. One Tesla's electric motor was destroyed after coolant leaked into the electronics.
We have found the reason for which this Tesla Model S was not running, and the reason is right here in this high-tech component, which is the electric rear motor. More precisely, this electronic part was faulty, and have a look at this. The connectors that are broken off, the board is burnt, all because it was soaked in coolant. Have a look at the cover. Traces of the coolant how was floating in here, and all this was flooded. Now, this is kind of beyond repair. The problem seems to be started from the cooling of the electric motor. Now, through this gallery, the coolant was meant to travel inside the rotor to cool it down. A failure of a seal, because it sits on a rotor that spins at speed of 16 to 18,000 RPM. That's quite fast, and is normally for this to fail. Now, it turns out that this coolant was actually not necessarily, and it's gonna be taken out. The thing is a bit too late for this one, because this part might be beyond repair. What we know for certain at this stage is that the repair is going to run in thousands. The question is, how many?
So I highly recommend not buying a Tesla Model 3, because if your blower motor goes out, you have to take the whole entire freaking dash off, all these pieces, just to go there to pull the blower motor out. Crazy.
Hey Justin.
Yo.
What's your opinion on electric vehicles?
I wouldn't buy one. Cold weather, horrible battery life. There's not a tire out there that can hold up to the weight of the vehicle, so you always got worn tires faster than you do any other car. The maintenance is just heavier on the suspension. It's a heavy vehicle. You got a lot of weight of a battery pack and an electric motor. Maybe if you lived in town and all you did was in-city commuting, I could see that, but not anybody living outside of town, I wouldn't buy one.
Sam, what is your opinion on electric vehicles?
You know, I can see why people like them, but they're not for me.
Antonio, what's your opinion on electric vehicles?
Don't buy a Tesla.
Tristan, what are your opinions on electric vehicles?
Not particularly a fan. I believe they have their place, and I believe as technology advances, they're maybe a bit better in whatever that means, in my opinion. But yeah, I think they have their place, but not for me.
Sandro, what is your opinion on electric vehicles?
I'm not completely against them. I think the whole idea that they're great for the environment is a huge fallacy and propaganda. But I don't think the infrastructure, especially in the US, can handle them. Not the way that they want to build them and talk about implementing them. But I don't have anything against them.
This Tesla, it has been declared a total loss by the insurance company. So the customer hit something intense on the highway, on the freeway. He doesn't know exactly what it was. It was a piece ripped out of the battery. This battery is a close to $20,000 battery. So just by having the issue with the battery, these batteries, they're not repairable by Tesla. It has to be replaced, you know. Even with a little bit of damage, they don't take any chances. If the battery has a little dent or a big dent, it has to be replaced. This piece of metal missing out of the battery kills it. It's so important to put the car in the lift. You know, putting the car in the lift, you're gonna have a complete view and you can analyze what is going on. Again, like I said before, it's so important to interview the customer. That way he can explain you exactly what happened, how he felt it, and then that way you use that information and address the inspection properly.
Another used EV was supposed to get 280 miles, but could barely manage 190.
Hey, I bought a used electric car a couple months ago, and I think the range is way lower than it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be getting like 280 miles, and I'm doing 190 on a full charge. Where'd you buy it? Online. I got it from Florida. It was a great deal. How old is the car? About 6 years, but it had great miles on it. I think that's why the price was so low. You know, miles aren't the only thing that wears down an EV battery. Well, what else is there? Heat. EV batteries are lithium ion, and heat breaks down them on a chemical level. Florida is probably one of the worst spots to buy an EV car from. So a car in a hot climate has a worse battery life than a car in a cooler climate? Significantly. 6 years in the Florida sun is way worse than 6 years in somewhere like Minnesota. Nobody told me to check for that. Most people don't even know to ask, but an EV's battery health is probably even more important than the miles that are on it. Can it be fixed? The battery can be replaced, but that's the only fix for degradation. That sounds big. How much is that? Depending on the car, anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000. $20,000? On larger pack cars, yeah, absolutely. That's more than I paid for the car. Well, now you know why it was cheap. Oh, I thought I got a good deal. The seller definitely did. Is there something I should have checked before I bought it? Most EVs can generate a health report either through an app or through the dealership. If you ask for it, they'll show it to you and it tells you exactly how much charge you've got versus when it was brand new. I didn't know you could do that. Well, now you do. For next time. To be honest, there's probably not gonna be a next time for a while. No. Probably not.
Do not buy an electric vehicle because you think you're gonna save on gas money, because you won't. One of the biggest myths about owning electric vehicles is that you save a ton of money by not filling up at the gas station and by charging your car at home. Now, this is variable based off of where you live, but for example, I live in California and electricity prices here are really, really expensive. When I used to have my old Hyundai, I would fill up my tank once a week and I would spend roughly around $250 to $300 per month on gas. But now because I own a Tesla and I charge at home, my electricity bill per month has roughly gone up around $200 to $250 per month. So really on average, I'm only saving $30 to $50 per month. Your car at a supercharging station, those are just as expensive as charging at a gas station. So it's really, really not worth it to buy an electric vehicle because you think you're gonna save on gas. That's like one of the biggest myths. You buy an electric vehicle because it's less maintenance and the tech is really, really cool, the full self-driving. And especially with all these new hybrid cars that are coming out, like for example, my dad has a Toyota Camry, a hybrid, you know, those new models, and that car gets 50 to 50 miles per gallon on gas. And he's really only filling up his gas tank like 2 to 3 times a month and he's spending only a couple $100s. So don't buy an electric vehicle, especially through financing, if you think you're gonna save a ton of money on gas, because you won't. Buy an electric vehicle because you like the tech, because you like the convenience, and you can afford to buy one.
This is what you gotta do. What are we replacing? Just a blower motor, right? Yep. Gotta take the whole interior out, the dash, just to access 3 little screws and a connector. All you people out there saying, oh, Tesla's the best vehicle on the road, most common failure thing on an AC system is a blower motor. Tell me again that they're the best vehicles on the road.
Then there's Tesla's build quality, with complaints about trim, panel gaps, and interiors.
Would you trust a Tesla?
No, sorry.
With over 100,000 miles?
Hell no. Tesla is an electric company that decided to make a car instead of a car company making an electric vehicle. And because of that difference, right, they're approaching it in a totally different manner. I think Tesla's overall is like one of the most lowest quality products of vehicles to ever be created. Not just because of certain things with their suspension and certain things we see mechanically, but I mean, like, I've never been in a Tesla where I can't identify a trim piece issue. The gaps on trims, on how things line up with the dash, how it lines up inside the car, the interior of the vehicle. I haven't found a Tesla that's perfect inside, and it just shows the quality of how they build them. And so I personally, outside the political stuff, do not trust Tesla.
EVs can carry hundreds of volts, with some systems reaching 900 volts. That makes repairs far more dangerous.
This is why mechanics hate working on hybrid vehicles and EVs. Regardless of how much technical skill you have, working on these high voltage systems is very dangerous and can kill you. Now, this little hybrid battery has 300 to 400 volts in it, which is more than enough to send you to the ER. And this small little hybrid battery is half the size of a battery you would find in a full EV, which can go all the way up to 900 volts. Because of all this high voltage in these cars, mechanics typically don't like working on these vehicles. So why do we gotta do it? This is why right here. We have a hurricane blowing through today, and according to people online, the reason for that is because we use combustion engines every day for travel. Now, I don't believe that to be 100% true, but a lot of people do. So there's a lot of push for these EVs in the industry right now when people like us don't really want to work on them. Now, will they be a part of our future? Yes. So we'll have to get used to working on them. But I do not believe they're going to stop this from happening.
Freezing temperatures can dramatically reduce EV range because the battery needs energy just to stay warm.
I don't think America is ready for electric vehicles. And Honda Motor Corporation agrees with me. They say, we're going to take our time to build electric vehicles. We really don't know how much of an American market actually will buy electric cars. Decades ago in California, they tried to mandate that a certain amount of the cars sold had to be electric cars. GM made them. Nobody really wanted to buy them, and the only way they could get them out was by just leasing them instead. Let's say you're in frozen Canada. I got a friend there who's got a Tesla. She loses 40% of her range in the really cold weather. This is a lithium battery. They will freeze when it gets cold, so they have internal heaters. If they're internally heating themselves in cold weather, you're losing a lot of the power, and you won't be able to go all that far. So like Honda says, it could be limited. Maybe only drive a little bit, that's okay. But if you have large commutes, electric cars, not such a great idea.
And if millions more Americans switch to EVs, can the power grid actually keep up?
Electric vehicles. Do
5
you
seconds
guys?
after the REV vehicle.
Yeah, you guys like the electric vehicles? What are your thoughts on it? Can it be sustained for the entire country?
Here's the thing: is that for a only vehicle, your only vehicle to have, your only vehicle to own, your driving habits are going to play a massive part in this, right? Where you live is going to play a massive part in this. If it's cold, you can't go the range as far, because when it's cold, they don't go as far. They don't charge as fast. They don't charge as fully, I don't think,
No,
right?
they don't charge fully unless...
Unless there's a certain temperature, and you're using the electricity to warm it up so that it can charge, right? So there's all that part of it. Down here where we're at, Florida, Southeast Georgia and all that, we just had 2 hurricanes come through here.
Saltwater and lithium batteries don't
Saltwater, and them things are not good, right? So you're talking about destroying a vehicle quickly. And possibly a house. We all know that flooding
I
cars...
saw something with a Tesla in the garage.
They'll catch on fire.
They did.
It's done. Yeah. So, that's just... There's nothing Tesla or any other electric car manufacturer can do to eliminate that. You get salt water, which people will say, yeah, you get salt water in any vehicle and it's ruined. 100% you're right, but it's not going to catch on fire and burn up, right?
Yeah.
So, but as far as, and here's the other side of it is, again, from just a lowly old mechanic that's just been living on this earth for 56 years, you hear all the stuff about the electric can't keep up, right? And if everybody bought an electric car, then I don't know that we'd have the electricity to do it. But I'm not that guy. I've talked to some people about that. I've got some friends in the electrical generating business, and they all tell me that, it's not that we're not there yet. But if you're doing this solely for environment, there is a really good video. I think it's on YouTube, and a guy he went deep into this. And the reality is that a hybrid is your best way to go. If you're looking for environmental impact, the least environmental impact, hybrid is the best way to go. And I'm not going to get into why. You'll have to find that video, but it has to do with manufacturing and all kind of stuff, and how much is it. It doesn't just go from the birth of the vehicle. It goes from the mining the materials all the way through to the end of the life of the vehicle.
It's not sustainable right now. They're fun to drive, they're quick. I don't have anything against them, but it's not sustainable for the entire country to have. California is already having electric grid problems.
Well, didn't they last year that California said they had such a problem that
they said cars.
Please don't charge your electric vehicle. So California, I think, is saying
2034.
It's saying we want everybody to have electric vehicles. I think they're trying to ban ICE vehicles by a certain year, but yet they're telling people not to charge their electric vehicles because they don't have enough electricity. Listen, I'm not getting into all that side of it. I'm just telling you that, but it is a thing that we need to be concerned about if you want to be able to, drive your vehicle.
Because they were frozen, dead.
The cars were frozen?
Oh yeah, during the storm and stuff. Yeah, 100%.
Which, I mean, that can happen if it gets super cold. That can happen with a gas engine. I mean, it's definitely not good. They have, that's why you have block heaters and things like that.
Bad.
You know,
not going to be the same.
You don't have door handles that are recessed that have to have electricity to pop up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Just small things.
Yeah. Like getting in the car.
All right, cool.
Are EVs really ready for everyone? Comment below and subscribe to Clunker Truth.